the public address announcer.
This time, would the entire squads go forward for their team handshake? We're now ready to play championship Class C football.
Well, as you saw, Waterville Elysian will receive, and the Buccaneers will start things off offensively here in our Class C title game. Waterville Elysian, 12-1 on the year, got here by dethroning three-time Class C champion Minneota with a 43-14 whopping in the semifinals. That win ended Minneota's 48-game winning streak. Mahnomen is in the tail end of what is, so far anyway, the 12th perfect season in school history. 13 wins, no losses, and no ties. 12th time since Mahnomen began fielding teams in the 1920s. It all started with a 7-0 year back in 1928. Now Ken Bauman's crew coming in undefeated and untied, 13-0-0. The last undefeated season, untied season, was 1980 when the Indians won the Class B title.
We've seen Ken Bauman frequently during the state basketball tournament, a long-time official of that event. He looks a little more nervous now than he does before the jump ball.
He's got a little bit on the line now.
Officiating crew is from Wyndham. Jack Kelly, the referee, Tom Cowan, Dean Jacks, and Dan Hossing.
You may have seen the word tribe. The Mahnomen Indians have the word tribe on their sleeves.
There's a look at the referees.
A hardy bunch to work this Class C championship game at the Metrodome. The Mahnomen Indians kicking off for the Waterville Elysian Buccaneers. And we're set to go. Mark Callbaugh doing the kicking for Mahnomen. It sails deep and will be hauled in by Chad Atherton at the 20-yard line. 25-30. Got a good lead block coming through by Ruska. And across the 40 to the 43-yard line on a nice return as Waterville Elysian goes to work coming up on midfield.
Chad Atherton had a lot of room there. It wasn't that he broke a lot of tackles initially, but he got some good blocking and was able to find an alley. You see a look at the kick, a fairly good kick down inside the 15-yard line. Atherton on the return right gets up to about 25 yards of real estate before someone lays a hand on him.
Chris Gross with a quick pitch to Toston Taylor, a very speedy runner who crosses the line at the 45, and the safety Jason Oakland, number 11, hauled him down.
We'll be calling Jason Oakland's number frequently. He's also the quarterback on offense for Mahnomen.
Let's take a look at the Waterville Elysian offense as it lines up here in this title game. Tom Little and Troy Larson work the left sides of the line with Matt Gross. John Riley is the center. Morris Herring and Corey Nide on the right side, who had a great game the other day. The running backs there, Taylor, Sorensen, Celebrate, and Chris Gross. Lofting this one out to Corey Nide at the 50-yard line and incomplete. Dean Burdick, number 25, was there for pass coverage. They were double covering with Travis Costi, number 44, as we line up the Mahnomen Indians defense. They'll use a couple of linebackers, 2 corners, and 2 safeties. And there you see with the 5-man line anchored by Keith Kirsch, who is the nose guard. Spaeth, Coleman, McDougal, and Snetzinger complete the line. Bjorgi and Bogley, are the linebackers. Now throwing on 3rd down and 7, way long and overthrown for Corey Nide as Chris Gross really aired it out, and Dean Burdick, number 25, was right there again with Corey Nide, number 83, who had his best game of the year against Minneota in the playoff finals. 9 catches, 191 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
And no doubt Mahnomen saw that game and know of Corey Nide's proficiency in the pass catching department. They're all over him. Dean Burdick, it'll be interesting to see if he's the chosen defender against Nide all day. He was all over him on both of those 2 plays, and I mean with good coverage, not excessive coverage.
Jeremy Oakland, number 15, had to let it bounce, and it took a big Waterville Elysian bounce as Mahnomen takes over. They will be deep in their own territory with 10:46 left in the first quarter. Prep Bowl 89 is brought to you by your Toyota dealer and the 1990 Toyota Camry V6. Toyota brings more power to the family car. Toyota, I love what you do for me. 10:46 left in the first quarter. It's the Class C title game at the Metrodome. And for the first time today, the Mahnomen Indians will go to work offensively as Ken Bauman's crew will take over first and 10 deep in its own territory at its own 7-yard line. Number 11, Jason Oakland, is the quarterback. And he lines up straight across and penalty markers before anything even happened. Come on, guys! And an offside before they even got the play started. Well, that's an easy way to get out of your own territory. Won't be quite so deeply in as it turned out.
This will be a crucial drive, and I suppose that's a little bit trite this early in the ball game, but Mahnomen wants to establish that ball control. They're a very much run-oriented team. They think they need to keep Waterville Elysian's high-powered offense off the field as much as possible, so they're going to try to grind it out. And the 1st and 5 makes that a much easier task.
Jeremy Oakland in motion right as the play goes right up through the middle, and Troy Larson, the defensive left tackle for Waterville Elysian, sniffed that out and stopped it as it got off the mark. There might have been a gain of 1.5 yards to 2, and that will be about it. They'll move it at the 12, though there was no gain at all.
Unbeaten Mahnomen against once beaten Waterville Elysian, but they avenged that loss to Medford. They lost to Medford 20-13. The 4th game of the season, came back to beat Medford in the playoffs 42-12, so that's quite a turnaround.
2nd and 10, slot to the right, the hand on the give, turning Jason Miller, and met right at the line of scrimmage by the swarming Waterville Elysian defense, led by the left cornerback Corey Nye, number 83.
The two defenses dominating so far. Waterville Elysian tried to go to their bread and butter on their first series. 2 passes to Nye that failed. Now Mahnomen with that hard-charging running game, a little counter play here that is snuffed out and stopped by the Elysian defense.
Now it is 3rd and 10. There was no loss on the play. Right at the 10-yard line. Oakland sets him down. Motion left, Jason Miller. They'll go to the counter as Jeremy Oakland will carry and cross the 15 to the 16. And again, it's Corey Nye, the cornerback, who stopped the play.
Nothing fancy again. Nobody split wide on 3rd and 10. Of course, part of that is field position. But Mahnomen not wanting to risk a low percentage play, which for them is a pass. They do not throw that much. And now they're going to kick on 4th and a couple.
So back to punt is Bob Bjorgi, number 40. One man back, Corey Nye, signals for a fair catch, dropped the ball, and then dived on it at the 48-yard line. So Nye, and I would think it would be tough when you've never played in this building to try and haul down a big, high-hanging punt and keep your eye on the ball. Breaking the action, we'll be right back to the Metrodome. Ball will be at the 47-yard line in Mahnomen territory as the Waterville Elysian Buccaneers will take over. Just underway with 8:25 to go in the first quarter at the Metrodome, along with Jim Gilliland, Doug McLeod. J.G. Preston is down on the sidelines. Barry Williams will be back later on as well. Justin Celebrate in the slot to the left. Quarterback Chris Gross, number 19. He hands to his fullback Sorensen. Smacks over the 45 and down to about the 43-yard line. Bob Bjorgi, among others, was in there to make the stop, along with Ed Snetzinger, the defensive end.
Waterville Elysian. It sounds so pretty.
It does.
Both of them for the nicest name, and then they throw in that Buccaneers. That's a little more of a hard football-oriented name, but they're a good ball club. And you watch Knight, he's always split wide. They try to give him some room to make his plays. The short side of the field this time.
Slot to the right. They charged with student body over right tackle, and Ed Snetzinger brought the play to a halt. But still, they muscled their way in for a couple of yards with the fullback Matt Sorensen leading the way. He led the team in carries this year with 212 for 1,330 net yards and 10 touchdowns.
Interesting sidelight to that play was the contact between the quarterback Chris Gross and Keith Kirsch of Mahnomen, who came through and hit him after he had handed the ball off on that option.
Power eye to the up man, Tostin Taylor, across the 40 to the 39-yard line. And again, these Little quick smashes. Keith Kirsch, the nose guard, helped bring that one to a stop, as did the linebacker Mark Bogley. Down to the sidelines now, and here's J.G. Preston.
Well, Doug, you may have noticed on the Waterville Elysian helmets here, there's this triangle made up of red dots. This signifies that Waterville Elysian is a drug-free school. This stemmed from National Drug Education Week this week. The coaches gave the players the option to put this on. They all chose to do it.
And very, very good for those young men. 7:03 to go in a scoreless first quarter. Chris Gross, 1st and 10, and at the 36-yard line of Mahnomen. They tried to draw. And what a smack in the middle. Bob Bjorgi. And
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say football is a contact sport.
Bert Leslie, number 50, in there, too.
That was a big hit right on the ball. It comes loose very cleanly in there before the man is down, and recovered by Mahnomen and Bert Leslie.
Wow. So Bert Leslie, number 50, the guy who did the job, and now it's 1st and 10 at their own 33 for the Mahnomen Indians.
They get better field position this time, out over the 30.
The back straight across behind the senior signal caller, Jason Oakland. Now in motion right, Jeremy Oakland. Fake to the first man through. Hand to the up back, Jason Miller, as he cut over right tackle to the 34-yard line. And Matt Sorensen, the left inside linebacker, brought him down as we line up the Mahnomen Indians offense for you. Dean Burdick, 12 interceptions, 214 yards on the left side. Newman, Snetzinger, and Bogley in the middle. Jager, Holmvik, and Howard Spaeth, who has a couple of touchdowns to his credit. The running backs behind Jason Oakland are Miller Bjorgi and Jeremy Oakland, who will split. Jason Oakland, 5'11", 175 senior quarterback. Passed for 462 yards, ran for 470 in the regular season. Fake motion, hand again to... A fake it was as Oakland swings around the right side at the 40 to the 49-yard line, and Corey Knight in hot pursuit along with Chad Atherton, the strong safety. Then a great little stutter fake by Jason Oakland.
You see some of the ball control moves by Oakland. They set up the Waterville team with some of that deception early, giving the ball in short and drawing the defense, and then pulling it back out, running wide. Jason Oakland gets big yardage.
13-0, the Mahnomen Indians quarterback Jason Oakland gets a big first down at the 48-yard line, still in his own territory. Again, Bjorgi, Miller, and Jeremy Oakland, the back straight back behind him. They'll get motion out of there, double tight end set. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Motion right for Jeremy Oakland. The play goes left, and just to the 50, across to the 47-yard line before Russ Morshing threw a paw and nailed Bob Bjorgi, the fullback.
Again, a little bit of a counter, fake to one side, goal the other way. Waterville Elysian has stopped the first ball carrier, and they continue to do that. Unfortunately for them now, the first man through doesn't have the ball.
The four-man line is backed by 2 linebackers, 2 corners, and 2 safeties. There's the defensive backfield for the Waterville Elysian Buccaneers. Across midfield now at the Waterville Elysian 47. It's 2nd down and 5 for Mahnomen. Miller moving. Draw up the middle of Jeremy Oakland. He popped right to the line of scrimmage, and how'd he do? He met number 65, Troy Larson, with 73 tackles and a fumble recovery to his credit. Troy Larson stopped the play for Waterville Elysian, and there's no gain.
35-man rosters in Class C, up from the 27 that we see in 9-man. And these two schools both had to trim rosters to get to the Prep Bowl. They were both Class B schools last year, and now have moved to Class C. And have taken it all the way to the Prep Bowl.
It is 3rd and 5 now at the Waterville Elysian 37-yard line. Again, they go right through the middle for the fullback, and again, it doesn't get anywhere as Matt Sorensen, the left inside linebacker, put the stop on the play, and Bjorgi, the fullback, just bashing into the line, got a few inches on it.
Probably looking to deceive Waterville Elysian a little bit, thinking they'd be looking for something wide with 6 yards to go for the first. Tried it up inside, but the Buccaneers have been very tough in there so far.
Bob Bjorgi will punt. He has 20 punts and a 34-yard average. Dawston Taylor back in single safety to receive. Watches the ball bounce into his arms at his own 8-yard line. Sees a wall of yellow and white and is pushed out of bounds at the 9. And that is where Waterville Elysian will go to work, as he was finally shoved out by the cornerback, Corey Knight. With 3:51 left in the first quarter, there's a timeout on the field. There's no score in our Class C championship game.